I've not seen War for the Planet of the Apes. If you haven't seen it, best you probably check out my spoiler-free review. If you have seen it or don't care about spoilers, welcome. Point is, let's get into it. So this movie starts out, it actually started out really cool, but it was talking about like a virus wiped out a lot of humanity and made apes smart, and then it was like, rise. Then Koba dicked out and started a war with human beings. Dawn. And it shows humans really going after the apes because they're like, oh, well, clearly they're bad, right? They're clearly hostile, very smart, they need to be wiped out, or we're going to be wiped out. Though we know that's not the case, it's how they see it, and if you really look at it, they have no reason to see it any other way. Thanks, Koba. But they do see, as they showed in the trailer, there are some apes that are with the humans because they're ultimately Koba supporters. I don't know how you can be a Koba supporter. Koba, who clearly hated human beings and then worked for human beings. I suppose it's a case of, well, Caesar and his apes killed Koba, so the enemy of my enemy. Right, but the point is, Caesar's son has found this great, wonderful valley. He's found the Great Valley from Land Before Time. And all the apes want to go there, but then Woody Harrelson and his crew invade the camp, and Woody Harrelson kills Caesar's wife and son. Granted, Caesar does have another son named Cornelius. Throw back to the original Planet of the Apes right there. He can't be the same one though, right? He just can't be? Maybe he is. But I had to do a double take on that. I was like, did his son just get killed? No, it can't be. And that's one of the bummers in this movie is that his son had such an arc in the last movie. And this one, it's like, all right, here we go. Boba Fett, Wash. And now, once again, ultimately, like Wash from Firefly, it seemed abrupt, but it is used to get someone into a mindset. So now Caesar's like, I'm gonna find the asshole who killed my wife and kid. Doesn't matter. I'm consumed with rage and I'm going to kill him. Yeah, all you other apes go to the Great Valley. I'm gonna kill the asshole. And he goes on a hunt for this guy. And that's where he runs across Bad Ape and the little girl. Little girl's important because she can't talk. And you're like, why can't she talk? And then there are these guys who were dead in the snow because Woody Harrelson's guys killed them. It's like, why can't they talk? Why are people not being able to talk? And why are the ones who can't talk getting killed? Woody Harrelson fills them in later on, but ultimately the big thing is the virus that made apes smart and killed people has mutated to now affect the people who lived through it the first time. And now it's ultimately making people dumb. They're losing the ability to talk. They're just ultimately becoming like pets. And you start seeing how we get to that place that the original Planet of the Apes was in. Woody Harrelson's freaked out. He's like, I don't want that to happen to me or my people, or we're gonna kill those people. Let's kill all the mutes. So when Caesar finally runs across Woody Harrelson's place, his entire colony of apes, all his friends, the ones he calls family, they're all chained up. They're all in cells. They're ultimately in an internment camp, being put to slave labor, because Woody Harrelson needs to build a big wall to keep out the humans who want to wipe him out, because he wants to wipe out the people who are infected with this virus and they can't talk. Ultimately, to Woody Harrelson, he's like, the human race is on the brink of destruction because of the virus. The apes are already smart as hell. They're stronger than us. If we lose our intellect, we are clearly losing the planet. So there's this really big hurdle for the human race. Woody Harrelson is just scrambling to stay above water. All the while, Caesar is on a manhunt for this guy. And it's even addressed in the movie. It's like, Caesar, you've become like Koba. You're so consumed with hate and rage, you're blinded and you just want to hurt the ones who hurt you. And that's where you see some tension between Caesar and his apes when he gets captured and he gets thrown into the cells. All the apes are like, you left us, dude, and now we're here. Granted, I don't think with Caesar there, they would have gotten out of that situation. They'd all end up there anyway. But it really is an easy thing to point blame, be like, this is your fault. And it sucks to see Caesar in that situation. It sucks to see Caesar on this path for most of the movie. But it sucks. It's not to say the movie's, I mean, the movie's great. It's a powerful thing to see such a character in such a vulnerable state, such a human state. He doesn't walk on water. It's like The Dark Knight taught us, even the best of us can be broken with one bad day. This is yet another movie that proves the Joker's point, really. And interestingly enough, I do get, for the first time in a very long time, a lot of movies have like, ooh, slave labor. It's like, why don't you just kill them all? They're your enemy. Why don't you kill them? This movie does address the fact he's trying to build this big wall, this big fortress to keep people out. With an army of apes, yeah, you can get that wall built in no time. That has always been my problem with the great Terminator movies called Terminators 1 and 2. The story is the machines rose and then put people into slave camps. Why on earth would they do? What work did they need people to do that they couldn't do themselves? It's like, yeah, the machines could enslave people, or the machines can make stronger, more productive labor in the form of machines. Maybe that's with intelligence comes laziness, but in this scenario, the slave labor thing totally makes sense. And Caesar gets put through the ringer, dude. I mean, it is winter outside. It's all snowy and cold. So that one ape's like, oh, here's a drink of water, splash all over. It's like, yeah, have fun freezing dick. And you're like, oh man, Caesar's in the lowest place of his life. He's lost his family, his colony hates him, and he's ultimately being tortured. Still no war. Yeah, why it's called War for the Planet of the Apes? No idea. Now, the war does happen, or at least battle. The battle happened. Which one of the complaints I've heard about this movie is that the guards are idiots, which is a transgression that a lot of movies do because they need guards to be idiots. So like, how are people ever going to get out of cells if guards are smart? So in this one, guards, yes, they are idiots once again. But in this particular situation, I feel like the guards are justified in being idiots. Fact of the matter is, the virus didn't discriminate. It wasn't like everybody but military personnel and guards gets wiped out and apes get smart. No, it was just like randomly people, a lot of people on Earth died. So these guards are not really guards. They're not even military personnel. Odds are they were plumbers. They were janitors. Some of them might have been accountants. Who knows? And they were told by someone, probably Woody Harrelson, it's like, you need to sign up with us because if you don't, the human race will be extinct and we will be a planet of apes. So these shitty nobodies with no skills whatsoever are like, all right, I guess I'm a guard now. Which is why I give this movie kind of a pass to the fact that the guards are stupid. When the fight goes down, it really is human versus human. The apes are just trying to get the fuck out of Dodge. But even Caesar's like, I can't go. I still need to kill that guy. I know I'm like Koba and I'm flawed because of it, but the guy literally took my family from me. I gotta kill him. And he goes up there to kill him. And the thing is, Woody Harrelson picked up the doll that the little girl was fidgeting with. Now Woody Harrelson's bleeding from his nose and he can't talk and he's drunk and you're like, oh shit. Fate worse than death. Gotta love that poetry. He's even taking the gun to his head. He acts like a zombie. And that's when Caesar puts down arms. He's like, yeah, screw this noise. The Colonel, Woody Harrelson's character, just takes his own gun, blows himself away. Tragic lives, man. Caesar's running and he has his grenades, and that dude, the guy he spared at the beginning of the movie, you're like, maybe he's a good guy, maybe not. Nope, he ends up shooting Caesar. He's the reason he died. And that one huge gorilla just boom, blows the dude up, and you see that one guy, slow-mo shot, just takes a gun to the back of that gorilla's head. The gorilla's like, I don't care, Caesar's awesome. Glad that gorilla did the turncoat thing. Then Caesar throws the grenades at that gas thing and just blows it up. You saw it in the trailer because trailers. And so Woody Harrelson's crew gets wiped out. Big army strolls up and then they see Caesar and they look like they're gonna raise their guns and a big avalanche comes down and wipes them out. That's the end of Apes. Well, not yet though. Caesar has his last words with Maurice. Maurice starts crying. Caesar's been shot and Caesar slowly dies. This is the end of Caesar's story. Caesar's story is a trilogy. It's a very tragic trilogy when you look at it. And who knows where it's going to go from there. This is why after this, it's like, do they need more Apes movies? No, we know where it ends up. However, there is undeniably more story to tell. Geographically speaking, where it ends up is not where it is. We're pretty close to San Francisco in these Apes movies. The original Planet of the Apes, a little farther. How do they get across the continent? Don't know. I'm sure there's a travel story in there somewhere. Makes me wonder if they are going to tie in the Charlton Heston story, or are they going to retell the Charlton Heston chapter. We saw some Easter eggs in Rise of the Planet of the Apes that alluded to the Charlton Heston story. Doesn't mean they necessarily have to show it or tell it. You can have it just tie into the Charlton Heston story, although there were Apes movies that came after that they have now rewritten the history too. It doesn't all tie together, so it would imply that they do have to retell it in this universe. Meanwhile, X-Men's like, trust us, dude. It doesn't matter. And guys, I'm so glad Apes is a solid trilogy. Like I said, all the rest of the movies, they can suck, but Caesar's story is a great trilogy. It's a great drama set. And I just hope people go in here knowing it's not War for the Planet of the Apes. I have to go in there knowing it's internment camp of the Planet of the Apes. All right, guys, so War for the Planet of the Apes. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Or do you want to see more Apes movies after this? Or do you think, nah, this should stop here? Whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.